going to go over some of the functions, adjustments, controls, and at the end, the wiring that you'll need to do when you get the machine to hook it back up. I'll show you where we unwired it to remove the operator panel. We have the operator panel on its own stand with wheels, so you can move it where you want within the limits of the cords that are on it. It also keeps it independent from the machine, so vibration doesn't affect it. We'll go over some of the stuff that you need to know that will help you in setting the machine up, getting it up and going, and then normal operations of it. Now, going over the machine, basically, the end here, this is your cutoff knife. We have a slot just under a 1/4 inch wide to shove the pleat down in. That keeps us within OSHA regulations. Foot pedal operated. Once you get the pleat in there, just press the foot pedal. Has an air regulator on it down here to the left. You can adjust for how hard the blade's coming down. Right now we had it set at about 60 to do what we were doing with it. That's where the pleat will be exiting. Obviously a spot you need to stay clear of because of the stripper bar. Doors on the side of the machines, when they are open, they have a lever switch on them that will send the machine into e-stop mode. When we go into e-stop mode, you'll notice the stripper bar comes up in the air. That's a safety thing, so that if somebody's in the machine and the e-stop is hit, it doesn't come down on somebody. So loss of power, e-stop, that stripper bar will come up like that. So that's e-stop mode. There's your lever switch for safety. If you're ever in a spot where that won't come down, always check your e-stops, those lever switches, make sure they're all met to get that to come down. Now when I close this, you'll see it home. Anytime you go out of e-stop mode or out of a restart, you'll see it home. We'll go over the home in a little bit when I get to the other side of the machine, where at home is the sensor, all of that. But as I close this, you'll see the stripper bar come back down, and you'll see that start to home. It's a process that has to be done every time it comes out of e-stop mode, so the machine knows where it's at. So that sets us back to our pleat height that we're making ×2. Another air regulator here on this side of the machine. This is going to regulate how hard we are clamping on the material. So it's how hard these set of guided block cylinders are pushing down against the table or against that piece of wearable brass to hold the material. We only want as much as we need to hold the material. Any more works the machine too hard. Any less will give you inconsistent pleats because it'll slip. So we put a regulator on it to help you adjust that to what you want. You're going to see right now it has 0 on it because it's not clamping down right now, it's up in the air. This, just haven't ran the wires through yet and covered it. That's just a connection point for the potentiometer on the pinch rollers. So what we have is a set of pinch rollers that pull the material off the roller. We found this necessary because the machine's so fast it would just uncoil the whole roll as it was running. So we started putting this roller on it, which helped us track straight too. So we have a roller that the material will pull on. As it comes up, it speeds up. As it goes down, it shuts off. So the roller will sit and do this up and down as the machine's running. Spins that potentiometer to turn the rollers faster, slower, shut them off. That's a wearable item. You will have to get one of those at some point. Nova Technic is where it's from. I found it easiest just to put that part number in on eBay and find them. You get them quicker. They're about half the price. That's our linear actuator. That's what does all the work. Got our servo motor going to a 2-to-1 belt on it, driving a 1 inch per revolution actuator. That's what's pushing our pusher bar in and out. That's what makes this machine what it is. Pinch rollers grab the material. We got a lever right here to lift them up and down. You can see to load the machine. When you're running it, you have it in down, so it's pinching it. Main air regulator, the black one. We run that at about, looks like it's a little over 80. Everything has an adjustment on it pretty much. So we run that at 80 to 100. This regulator is for the marker that comes down to mark your pleats, your pleat counter. So I just adjust that in until it's hitting it at fast enough that it's touching it, but not so fast it's jamming it. We got a bracket on there made for a Sharpie. So you just put the Sharpie in, turn the set screw. Maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea to take that set screw out and put a thumb screw in. I'll see if I have one. If I do, I'll have that on there. Just a spring return air cylinder. Loosen up this knob. Slide it in and out to the edge of your material. And retighten it up on the edge of your material. So it'll come down right on the edge there, give you a mark. Over here, same thing, door with a switch. That right there is our homing sensor. So that's what it's coming forward to, that right there. It's looking for that steel on that linear bearing. So I'll put it in E-stop mode and show you how it homes. So it's going to come up until it sees that and then back off until it doesn't. So you'll see a light light up and then it backs off until it doesn't see it. So we should just barely be touching that plate and collapsing that plate. So we just want to barely touch that plate. That way when the material's in there, it collapses it a little bit more. It's adjustable with those screws. You just, or nuts and screw on the sensor. You can move it. We have another adjustment built in on the operator screen that I'll show you when we get to there. So you can make more of an offset. You can leave it farther away from the stripper bar if you're running thicker materials, stuff like that. Some adjustments, flow controls on the stripper bar. Got a quick dump down here, which just evacuates the air quicker. That sensor that you see lit up right there, that is our down position sensor. So that tells the servo drive that our stripper bar is down. I'll open this door, you'll watch when it goes up, it shuts off, down, it's there. So this machine will not home if that sensor is not met. So if you're ever in a situation where you can't get the machine to home, that right there is probably your culprit. You're not meeting on that sensor. Either it vibrated and moved, or it's bad, lost connection, whatever. That has to be met for the machine to home. It also has to be met in normal operation when it finishes a pleat and comes down. It meets that. That tells the pusher bar to go back, start its next pleat. That's really the only sensor I can think of that we have on the machine. We used to have an up sensor for when the stripper bar went up, but we changed that to a timer. It just eliminates a movable part to go wrong or a wearable item. So now we can just adjust that on the operator screen. Valves down here. First one here is for the marker. It just tells the marker to come on. Second one in there is for the stripper bar. It's got the fatter hoses coming out, the 3/8 line. Third one is for the pusher bar, 1/4 inch red line down there. All ran 24 volt coming out of these. And these are connection point coming from the box, and that's where I'll show you later on where we undo it and rewire it up.